Hey, what's going on, everybody? I thought today would be a great day to bring you back into the best DAW in the world. We're going to go through a beat that I've made called Precision. This genre is going to be pop, but I think this song is awesome, and let's go ahead and show you what I did. So yeah, I think that sounds really great, and so let's go ahead and break it down. So the first thing that I started with when I did this song was the drums. So let me go ahead and show you how I added them in. So the first thing I added in was the kick drum. I put it on the first and the third beat. So let me go ahead and show you what that sounds like. I know usually for pop songs, the kick drum will usually go something like this. But I wanted something a little bit different, so I put it on 1 and 3, and then I added in another kick drum right before the third beat. I thought that added in a little bit of variation, and I wanted to do that some more, so I added one more kick, and it sounds like this. And I thought that sounded really great, so I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and add in some snares. So usually with my songs, I will layer my snares and my claps. So I just pulled in 2 snares from a Vengeance kit that I have, and these are the 2 snares. So with the kicks, they sound like this. So to add more interest into the drums, I wanted to add a reverse clap in there, so that's what I did. So it sounds like this. The next thing that I added in was going to be this ride here. Just like the kick was, I wanted to add the ride in the same way, so I did another ride cymbal, and this is what it sounds like. So the next thing I wanted to add in was the crash, and it sounds like this. And I also wanted to add in a reverse crash, which I'll show you as well. To me, that sounds great. So the last thing that I added to the drums is going to be these percussion elements here. The first percussion element that I added was going to be claps. Next thing that I added was this click sound. And last but not least, I added a few different percussion elements to add some interest, and I just put these in random places. I didn't really, think it out as to what beat they're on or anything. I just put them where I thought they sounded good, so they sound like this. So that's all of the elements for the drums actually for the entire song. So after I added all the drums in, I thought it would be a great time to go ahead and add some sounds. The first sound that I added in was this sound here in Silent. It's from the Vengeance Shocking Sounds 15 sound bank, and it's called In the Dark Pad. I really like how it sounds. It has that very 80s feel to it, so that's why I added it in, and let me go ahead and show you what that sounds like. regards to the chords, just kept it really simple. All there is there's the B minor chord here, then there's the A major chord here, then there's the A major chord again with the second added in, and then lastly the B minor chord again. And then I added in this note here. It looks like it's the common note in all of the chords, but yeah. So I got that. Then the bass notes that I added were a B, a D, an A, and then a G. And I was going to make it a little bit more interesting and change up the bass line in the second part, but I didn't want to make it too intricate, so I just left it the same. So with the drums, it sounds like this. I know you notice that there is the pumping sound that you get from sidechain compression. I don't usually use sidechain compression in my songs. There's another way that I like to do it. Let me go ahead and show you what it is. This neat little plugin here is called the LFO tool, and it pretty much just adds all of your LFO effects right to your track, so that way you don't have to use sidechain compression. And I really like it. So I'm adding this effect to all of the sounds in the song. The next sound I wanted to add is going to be the arpeggio. So let me go ahead and show you that. Next thing that I added in was my favorite sound, which I've referenced before, the dance lead from Silent. So like I said, I added in literally every song that I do. So I added that in and I just copied the bass notes from the main synth that you heard. So after I did that, I added another bass synth in. This bass is going to come from Inspire. It's Inspire's factory sound bank, and it's called Drift Bass. The next sound that I added in is going to be this little pluck sound from Silent as well. It's in the factory sound bank, and it's called Star Child. I love that sound. I use that in a lot of my beats as well. So after I added in that plug sound, just like the bass, a lot of times I like to use the same 808 as well, but I just like to change the sound around. So in this song, I used the same 808 that I used previously from the Ronin Silent bank, and so that sounds like this. So that sounds great. So let's see what everything sounds like so far together. So that sounded great to me, but I wanted to add something to it to make it stand out as the chorus. So I just added a couple of leads in. The first lead that I added in was this one. And to make it more interesting, I just duplicated that and added another synth in, and I used this synth here. So together they sound like this. So that's pretty much all of the elements, and the last thing that I wanted to do to make it more interesting is to add like a reverse chord effect in. And Vengeance actually has in their sound bank reverse chords, I usually make my own by getting the sound, adding a reverb effect to it, exporting it, bringing it back into the project, and reversing it. But that took a lot of time and I didn't want to do that. So when I found these, I was like, hey, that's great. So to me, you know, it's not really about what you use, it's just, you know, how you use it. So I just took the pre-made reverse chords here and I added those in. So they added a little bit of interest to the sound. So this is what they sound like. After I added those in, the last thing that I wanted to add to the chorus really was going to be like the FX kick and everything like that. So just a reverb kick. And I added 2 of those. Then I added a sweep down effect. And a sweep up. So that's all of the sounds for the breakdown part. The only extra sounds that I added in were going to be for the build up, and they're pretty much layers of the main synth. Let me go ahead and show you guys those. So you remember that we have the main synth. To layer that, I just added a few different instruments in. The first one is going to be an electric piano, and it sounds like this. Then a grand piano. So then I wanted to add in some strings. So I added in the string chords here. And to make it more interesting, I added staccato string stabs in there. So all together with those main sounds there, it sounds like this. So I also know that you noticed that the volume drops off at the end of that chord phrase. The reason is I added all of the sounds to a bus and I created a volume automation track. How you do that is you take the tracks that you would like to add to your bus. For example, all of these sounds here, I want them to be routed to a bus. I would click the first track, press Shift, and select the last track. Once I've done this, I can go ahead and right click or double tap for Mac. Maybe it's not called double tap, but you know what I mean, to bring up the menu. Then you go to add bus for selected tracks. So after you've done that, your mixer channel for the bus will appear. Here's mine. Once I brought that up, I went ahead and clicked on this, brought the menu, and clicked Edit Volume Automation. Once I clicked that, it brought an automation track into the timeline here. So here's the volume automation here. I just changed it to where every synth will go to 0 dB at the ending phrase. So that adds a little bit of interest. I did not add the reverse synth into that because I wanted that to bring in the chorus. I think the last elements that I added in, other than the FX sweeps and the kicks, is going to be a bass drop and an impact clap. That's it. So with the build up and the chorus, here's what we made. And as you see, it's not very complicated at all. There's not many tracks, but it sounds really massive. And I think that that really goes to show that just selecting the right sounds will make all of the difference. So let me go ahead and show you the build up and the chorus together. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. If you would like to check out the full version of the song, I'll put a link in the description to my SoundCloud and you can check it out and let me know what you think. Special thanks goes out to Superstar O for providing the background track that you hear in this video, and thank you as well to PreSonus for having such an awesome DAW. So go check out the track, check out PreSonus Studio One, and check out Superstar O, and definitely have a great rest of your day. See you guys later.